it out.
So where did the
Tie little sandbags to its little feet.
where did this thing? What were you talking about? Oh yes, National Beaver Day.
It's an International Beaver Day.
International
Beaver
This is
Day.
more than America.
This is more than America.
Yeah, this is the world's celebration
beavers.
of the beaver.
We salute you.
We salute you, proud
of the
beaver.
world.
Without you, there would be no trees in North America. Did you know that?
Apparently.
They planted all the trees.
They did.
Is that what your dad was saying?
That's basically what he's saying. He said the beavers plant trees.
You know, beavers run around with sacks on, and they sprinkle the sacks wherever they go.
Johnny Appleseed? Like,
Johnny Beaver Seed, they called him.
Johnny Beaver Seed.
Hello everybody. Good to see you today. We are 24-hour Purple People, version 2.0. I'll keep calling it. Matt and Glenn's here. Hello.
Hello!
Welcome to the program. Confusion and chaos is all around, but it was a chaotic scene when we saw that game-tying score last Saturday. Talking about Racing Louisville against the Washington Spirit, guys.
Good segue. Look at that.
Was that actually confusing though? They were kicking their tails
Well,
at that point.
It was confusing for John. That doesn't mean it's confusing for like an average normal person.
Gotcha.
I think a lot of times, last couple of seasons, we've been in situations like that where we were down 2-0 and there was no chance of coming back, and you kind of felt it, especially coming out of the half. I mean, guys, that was a pretty impressive half for Racing. I had fun.
One of the better halves maybe we've ever played.
I agree. We definitely
Very strong half.
I think it started in the first half. The tail end of the first half, and in the end, we started attacking, and we just were building momentum. We came back out hot, and there's nothing they could do to stop us. Once we contained Hatch, we were on our way.
Yep.
So
There are a lot of situations, I guess sort of piggyback off what you said, there are a lot of situations last year where I don't want to say that the team gave up on itself, but you could tell that maybe, how do I word this? Maybe the team gave up on itself. I don't know.
there wasn't as much fight.
Yes. But you saw a hell of a lot of fight on Saturday. And that's the kind of win that's like, if you're going to look back and tell the story of this season, this is like a high watershed mark. This is a seminal victory, or draw rather, within the season.
Even after conceding the first goal, though, we were still I felt like we were still taking it to them. We made a few mistakes that led to the second goal, which will happen. But there was no, I completely agree. There was no let off. We just kept fighting and fighting for every ball and trying to create chances and just kept attacking.
To the very last whistle in a cold and windy environment.
No, back-to-back terrible
Holy
weather.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to complain about how there were only 4,000 people there, but I really can't blame you for not coming. Although there are 100 excuses not to be there, there's only one reason to be there, and that's to support your Racing Louisville. So.
You know, if you look for an excuse, you're always going to find one.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Yep.
But no, we fought through a lot of that adversity, and we fought to the very last whistle. I think 10 more minutes in that game, and we're up 3-2.
I agree.
I mean, we were pressing there at the very end.
The press seemed really good, too. We just kept pressing and kept pressing. I mean, and Ursek's goal was amazing. That cross in, and she got above everybody.
She got at least a head higher than everybody else on that field.
And we had another opportunity like that where she got one and just went a little bit too far for her. But, I felt like we definitely were applying the pressure, and we were very close to getting all 3 points on the day.
We talked about it a little bit last week, how, we expect now better things from Racing this year, and how we were sort of vindicated in that, seeing the performance in the first game. That's even more so after seeing this performance. I mean,
I agree.
To the moon.
Yes.
Buy in, all in on Racing.
I mean, this is a playoff team, right? That's the minimum bar has to be that you make the playoffs.
We'll keep saying it all year until we clinch that playoff spot.
No, I gotta agree with you there. I mean, it felt pretty magical, right?
And we had sort of moved down to the waterfront end.
Yeah.
So we got first hand view of Ari's goal there. That 17-foot screamer, with just a little bit of curl on it.
Ooh, that was
Just a little.
beautiful.
And the dance.
Yeah, the dance.
Fantastic dance.
Oh, the dance was. Yes, it was fantastic.
That goal was amazing because she nobody attacked that ball. Washington just stands there
Yeah, she
and
just went
watches
for
her. Like she's the only person that attacks that ball. Like the rest of the crowd is kind of like, it's just gonna bounce around. She's like, nope, that's going in the goal, and she attacked it and put it in. Oh.
And it's not an easy shot to make. I mean, there's a lot of instances where you see someone take that shot and it ends up in the stands, right?
And with the wind too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, the wind was howling, and she perfectly put that right where the keeper couldn't get to it. Just woo.
The week before, City had to play in similar conditions, right, with the 40-mile-an-hour winds. And it seemed like they didn't adjust, but you could see Racing adjust. And even post-game, Bjorkegren talked about, like, their in-game adjustments and how they sort of diverted their plan a little bit and sort of kind of rolled with the punches. And it paid dividends.
Sure did.
We're seeing the goals from the first half. I mean, like,
That's-
I agree that they did kind of have a different vibe going into the half. Things are just different with this team. I don't know. They had a bit of a spark, I felt like.
Good save from Katie on.
Absolutely.
We saw on the sideline, the players running, staying warm, particularly Jalen Howe. We saw her, and we were wondering why she's on the pitch. She looks so great. She's moving well. But we saw the body language of the team is like night and day from last year. I mean, they're all in.
Yeah.
They're paying attention. They're screaming. They're all in on this team.
They're fighting for each other, right?
Yeah.
Like they're playing as a team.
That's what you got to do, right? That's how you make the season. Yeah.
That's how you win games, right? Like everybody's attacking for the common goal.
Yeah. When you can do that as a team, good things are sure to follow every time.
And the first goal that Washington scores, Hatch just gets lucky and gets on her back shoulder, gets on Holloway's back shoulder and puts it in. Like she just got lucky. She was on the back shoulder.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't
couldn't turn quick enough to get to the spot. And
it's not like she cooked her off the line, right? Like
Yeah.
she was hanging with her.
So and it was just a really good ball in the right place. And then the next one that she scored, she just managed to get between the defenders. So I mean, it happens sometimes, right?
Yep.
Like even when you're playing your best, there's going to be openings sometimes right here.
Especially this early in the season, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two things that sort of take time to gel: is your defensive stand and your attack this early on.
Ooh.
I feel like our attack's been really good though. Like we definitely were really good on the attack. And other than the two lapses that led to the goals, which really, I mean, we're on the attack there. Connie was back on defense, right? Like she's having to track back as a defender. So and Hatch just manages to split the defenders. I mean,
takes Katie near post.
Yeah.
But enough about Washington. I think it's apropos that we played the Spirit, and we showed a hell of a lot of spirit out there.
We did show a lot of spirit. But even this, you start attacking here. This is the second half. But in the end of the first half, we were attacking more. We started getting more, winning the ball more, and just taking it to them. And then the second half, we were just relentless. I thought like, they were like, "This is our game. We're gonna take it. This is the corner here."
Service here by Wang Shuang.
Wang Shuang in. And Erceg, look at that. She's
just a full head above everybody else. I mean, nobody had a chance but her.
She definitely won that ball. She was like, "That's mine. I'm gonna score."
And we scored exactly the right time you want to score, right? You want it either entering or just exiting the half.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have one. You want to get one and build on that momentum. Because now you have nearly what was this, the 46 minutes? So you've got another 44 minutes.
Yep.
After this, and things have completely shifted.
We're even playing well defensively, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're making it tough for them. They have a few opportunities, but nothing was a clear look at goal like the two goals they scored, right? Like they were all contested. We were making them fight for everything.
We adjusted.
Another good save from Katie. The good thing is we don't have to rely solely on Katie, right? Now we're attacking on the other end as well.
Yeah, that was sort of the big issue we had. Katie had the most saves in a season ever, right?
Yep.
We don't want to make her work that hard this year.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that in itself is a win in the early start of the season.
Yeah.
Is not having to rely on Katie
It's a nice ball to Davis.
every single match.
And Davis is in here because Kanu took a shot to the face, which looked pretty bad. She was down for a while.
Watching that back in the replay, it made my stomach hurt. It's a hard hit.
She did not enter. I don't know, enter concussion protocol, and they cleared her.
Yeah.
she walked out into the tunnel, but ended up finishing the game on the bench with her teammates. So that's really good to hear.
Yep. Another one. Keeping it shot from outside.
Hey, look, there's nobody there for a rebound, right?
Yep.
Everybody's boxed out.
It's a good run.
Well, the Picky Yamsa run. It ended up
First
leading
half?
to nothing, but holy shit.
Yeah, where she just battled for the ball.
Just out-muscled everybody else in the midfield.
That was great.
It was,
That was
something to behold.
Stadium blew up on that one, too.
Yeah.
Like, everybody goes on their feet like, hell yeah.
I got pumped. I wanted
Yeah.
to run on the
Yeah,
field.
I know,
I'm like,
man.
yeah!
That was great.
We do not advise running on the field.
Kentucky State Athletic Commission does not allow you to run on the field without a wrestler's
All right,
license.
let's skip up a little bit here.
Yeah, we played really well, and like I said, we're taking the fight to them, right? Like there's no one attacking this ball. Look how this ball bounces. There's 3 white
Boom.
jerseys there. No one attacks it.
No
except
keeper.
for Ari. She's like, this is my ball. I'm gonna put it in the net.
One of the best goals we have ever scored.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and say that.
Right in front
On
of
either
us.
side, I think.
No keeper in the world is going to fucking make that save. All right?
Yeah.
Just completely froze her.
Right in front of us.
Yep.
Yeah, that was right in front of us. Look at
You maybe see us off frame, not dressed for the weather at all, at least me.
not wearing enough shirts.
Damn, it was cold.
It was breezy and cool.
Yeah, what did you have? Like a single layer hoodie and...
Yeah, I had a t-shirt and a hoodie.
I had a t-shirt and a denim jacket.
I was just gonna wear a t-shirt. I was like, oh, it's because I went outside to get the mail and it was 60 degrees
Yeah.
that morning. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wear
Yeah.
it. There's you gotta
do a little dance.
Is there a name to that dance? Are we not hip? I mean, we're not hip.
I'm definitely not hip. So
Right.
if there's a name, I wouldn't know what it was.
There isn't 2 more hip individuals in the city of Louisville.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I mean,
One of
if we have hip flexors maybe at our age, we're very hippie. Yes, very hip.
We're fast forwarding to almost the end here. This is a good free kick too.
Yeah,
this is
free
the
kick.
We've had
Another
excellent
one.
service.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
between
Who's this,
Pickett and
Sav?
Mello.
Mm.
Yeah, that's sad. Man, she gets fouled a lot.
Yeah.
Like I know that's one of the notes I took from watching the match. Like she's and this little bad foul on.
Jalen, Jalen gets fouled quite a bit too.
They are fouling our midfield a lot. Thankfully, Jalen got up from that. That was the red card, right? The
Yeah,
second
that
yellow.
was the second yellow.
And there's no review on a second yellow, by the way.
No review.
So straight red, they can
Yeah.
check that VAR
They can
wise.
VAR straight red, but if it's a second yellow, it's the end of your day.
That's it.
You're done.
11 shots for each team.
Racing does not return to action until the 15th against Angel City, our old banner stealer. We stole their banner, whatever rivalry. It is, however, out west in La La Land, and we're not going to cover that one.
Wait, before we move on, I decided that I wanted to do the songs. So I've been like watching the matches back and trying to find a song that is the match for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so for this match, I decided to go with Survivor by Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to listen to the song, but I felt like it fit the attitude, right? Like
Mhm.
we're just
Good
gonna keep
choice.
fighting, and we're just gonna
We're going to work harder.
Yeah.
That's right.
and we're gonna win. So eventually, we're gonna get all 3 points.
I chose.
That's the only thing we're missing this year, right? We've had two good performances we can really build on. We've got a really good foundation. We see that win now. And hopefully out west, we can pick one up on the road against Angel City
Yeah,
on the 15th, correct?
15th.
Yeah.
15th.
I think it's gonna be a late match too, right? Is that 10 o'clock
Well,
kickoff
it's in
again?
California.
Yeah, I know.
Do you putting an international? I see where the international break is needed. We saw this is the first time the NWSL has really sort of latched on the international break and really adopted it. But do you think it hurts our momentum a little bit?
I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of players that we're gonna be out, right? Like half of our team
Yeah.
is gone. So I mean,
Connor, Holloway, Chidiak.
Yep.
Yep. Several.
So for us, it's
players.
gonna be very
Piquionza.
difficult, I think, to continue on anyway, right? Because we were gonna lose all those players, so you're gonna play some. You were gonna have rotation, right?
Right.
So I think it's better off for us to take that international break and,
Yep.
and come back together as a squad and go out to LA and earn our first 3 points.
Do the damn thing.
That's all we gotta do, right? Like
Yeah.
that's all we're missing is our
That's all.
first win.
That's all we have left.
Other little news and notes around the NWSL. Speaking of California, it was announced earlier we're going to have another expansion team out in
The Bay Area.
the Bay Area, home of teams like the Earthquakes, the San Jose Sharks,
Golden State Warriors.
the 49ers,
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley,
What is that?
FC.
Golden State Warriors.
I found
A
the
bunch
most
of computer
interesting
nerds
thing about that athletic
playing soccer.
article was the price of the expansion. It's $52 million, and the company that's investing in it thought that price was undervalued for the franchise.
It's amazing.
We paid around $10 million, if I'm
Yeah,
I
it was.
think that was
if
it.
I'm remembering
somewhere around
correctly.
Got
So-
in cheap.
It's a hell of a
Yeah.
return on your investment,
Yeah.
right? In just two or three short years.
We are looking for a return on our investment after watching a match that will go down in history in a very, very bad way. Gentlemen, I'm talking about the match against one Sacramento.
Oh.
You mean the worst loss in team history? Is that
That
what you're
one.
talking about?
We're gonna
the
talk
worst
about this?
loss.
I thought we were gonna skip this one. I thought we agreed.
Can we
were
talk
just
about
gonna
racing
skip
again?
Over. Yeah, racing's really good. Let's talk about that.
This is a racing podcast
yeah, right.
now.
We're all racing. That's all we're gonna do anymore. All right, so
It's
we're
the
gonna
only
talk about
purple we care about. All right.
Louisville City went out to Sacramento, and it was not a good situation.
Got fucking dusted.
It was
Yeah.
not good. No, I mean, that match was pretty unbearable. I know you guys went to the watch party, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the
How
watch
was-
party was fun, right? Saints. I always like going to Saints to watch a game. They put the audio on for us, so we got to
It
hear.
was nice. Yeah, they had the Final Four was actually taking place at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yep.
and they gave us the audio. So thanks, Saints.
Yep. But it was not good. I don't even want to watch the highlights of this.
No,
so
you have to.
I mean, you don't have to.
No,
Yeah.
do it. Put yourself through it.
We could just skip the highlights and just
I
talk
think we're gonna
about-
skip the highlights.
I rewatched this game today, so
Me
I
too.
need you to share in my disappointment.
Go ahead.
So
Share
interesting
away.
lineup in formation, right?
Yeah.
The Fontenot had it listed as like a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
I think on the broadcast it was a 3-7-1. I don't know.
It was. Yeah, it was something. And they kept saying this is a really odd lineup. Like I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, we know. But I thought there was a lot. Our midfield was stacked, regardless of what formation we had, right? And I think defending, we were bunched up pretty badly, and I think that's one of the reasons why we got burned on that right channel so many times, early and often. 3 goals in 27 minutes.
Mistakes. It
Yeah.
was all mistakes though. Like we just paid. Like Sacramento punished us for every mistake we made. Like if we made a mistake, Sacramento put the ball away, and like they made mistakes and we didn't punish them for
Yeah,
any of them.
we had chances. And they were off of Sacramento's mistakes.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
But I
One
think
shot on goal.
they had. I think that Sacramento had one goal that was a good earned goal. The Cicerone goal where they cross it in. He gets on the end of that ball. There was no mistake. I couldn't find a mistake that led to that cross getting into the box and getting onto his foot, right? But all the other goals, there were mistakes that led to the goal going in, like the Toach running into Morton, like communication issues,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
what you've been
somebody
speaking
should be
to,
calling
dude.
for that ball,
Yeah.
right? Like
You got to put your hands up.
Yeah.
You got to say mine.
mine, danger, whatever you say,
Something.
like yell
Yeah.
something. And the other one,
But your center back should not be colliding with your keeper. It's
fir-
not suboptimal.
the first goal comes off of Maney and changes directions on Morton, so like you can't really fault Morton. I mean, Morton's a great keeper, but he can't change directions like that because it
Right.
turns completely. It's bending one way, hits Maney, goes a different
Yeah,
direction.
just right across the numbers that hit him on the back.
I think the most disappointing part of that match was Winder going down in the 34th minute.
Mhm.
I hope he's healthy. I saw someone on Twitter say, "I hope they didn't just cost us $1.5 million."
Lancaster exited a little bit early too, as
He-
well as Winder.
yeah.
Cruz said post game that both those injuries were muscular and they would require further evaluation. But I don't think. Hold on, let me check my notes really quick.
What about the really weak penalty?
Lancaster's out for tomorrow.
Yes, Lancaster. Yeah, that's what I was checking.
The weak
Lancaster's
penalty
out
they
for
gave to Gur, like Dia, like barely touched him and he went flying in the box. By the way, that fifth goal is just a joke,
Yeah.
right? Like because the contact was minimal at best, and I just the
I mean,
game's already over at that point.
First
like,
of all, we're already dead.
yeah,
right?
right. Like what's
Yeah.
the
Just stop. We're already dead.
There's like 20 seconds left in Rocket League. We're down by 3, and they score another one.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So, what I really desperately wanted to do was I wanted to like try and diagnose this and be like, this is the issue, right?
Mhm.
Like, and be like, oh, it's definitely this one thing. But I don't think it's one thing. After watching the match back, we have some communication issues. I think is our biggest overall issue.
Mhm.
There's communication on the attack and on defense.
Mhm.
And I think we need to work that out.
What does this tell you right here more than anything? This top line.
I mean, we're not shooting the ball very well.
Yeah.
No, we cannot.
And look
We're
how many on
not
target.
taking. We're not taking the same.
One shot on target.
One on target.
We put one on frame.
We let them have 22
Two
shots.
They doubled us up.
Yeah.
You expect, you cannot expect them to not score 5 out of 22.
And Sacramento was without their striker. He went down in like the 10th minute.
Yeah. But we're averaging this season in league play. We're averaging what, 2 point something shots per match. Last year we averaged over 5. So we're definitely not shooting the ball on target very much right now.
That's not good.
But we also have some defensive issues, right? There's some communication issues.
We've got some new players too.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we're transitioning between sort of our tried and true, and we've got a lineup, right? We've also got a lot of young players coming up, so we need to meet in the middle somewhere.
We have a lot of moving pieces right
Yes.
and it's constantly changing, right? We haven't had a real consistent lineup from match to match, so I think there's a lot of change going on.
And based on who's out against Detroit, that's not going to happen in the next game either. So.
And yeah, I wrote down we had center back pairs, and I could be wrong, but it looks like we've had Dia and Toch as a pair. We've had Toch and Winder. We've had Toch Kwasame, and we've had Toch and Scarlett. So we've had 5 matches we've played, and we've had 4 different pairs of center backs, and we're not getting a consistent lineup.
Does anybody out there know where Jordan Scarlett is? I
don't know either.
Where in the world is Jordan Scarlett?
hope everything is cool with him.
I hope he's good.
Yeah,
and he comes back.
I haven't seen him on an injury list. I haven't seen him make the 18 though. Also, so maybe it's personal issue. I don't know, but I feel like we need him back.
And I felt like the first 2 matches, he's Josh's replacement. What it felt like to me, at least, that he was going to be the guy who was going to be with Toch and replace Josh when Josh eventually signs and goes to Europe.
That's what it was sort of set up as. Yeah, he split the half once with Winder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like. But now he's nowhere to be found, and boy, we could use him. Does Dia? How many times is Dia lined up as a center back? We don't see that very often, right?
The broadcast said he's never played center back. I don't know how true that is or not.
Well, there's Sacramento now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who cares what they think?
But they said he'd never actually played that position. But other than the PK against him, I don't think he did bad.
I mean, he cleared the ball off the line, and that was in Lexington.
That was the next game.
Yeah. It's good to see Wilson Harris come in the second half, or was it the first half, second half?
If you can take a positive away, yeah, we cleared the bench and we got some guys minutes.
We got some minutes, and we experienced something we have never experienced in our history. We have not lost a game since 2015. 4-0 was our largest loss up to this point against Montreal.
Yeah, that was an MLS
Beach
side.
night.
Was that beach night?
I think beach night was the.
Was that 4-0?
Was it Montreal? Get Evan on the phone.
Yeah, we need Evan.
But nevertheless, we move on. We persevere. I was most disappointed, and that's why I circled.
In yourself?
Rather poorly circled. The whiteboard. You made me lose my train of thought, you asshole. Wait till your hashtags. I'm gonna shit all over them.
So will the audience.
I'm gonna make yours look so.
Shut
good.
the fuck up! The 22 shots allowed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They complain that I don't talk enough out there, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't get a word in.
We do like hearing our own voice.
22. I've noticed. 22 shots allowed.
That's a lot.
Do you know that is also a record?
Is that a record?
Mm-hmm.
Did you look all that up? Did you do some research? Or did somebody tell you that?
I pay attention to
Hell yeah,
things.
look at you.
Look at you.
I do like playing with my laptop more than anything, but
And getting talked over. You seem to like that a lot.
Yeah.
You want to do hashtags? You want to do hashtags, Glenn?
Do you want to do hashtags?
my mom's gonna be very unhappy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mom Harper.
Sorry. We don't want to make you unhappy.
It pissed me off, Mom.
Is this the new tradition, right? Every bad game gets hashtags. They all need a name. So I'll let you go first this time, Glenn. What you got?
I had the no contesto.
Okay.
Sacramento no contesto.
Okay.
Now, should we say hashtag?
Hashtag
One of these?
no contesto.
I mean, people can infer it. They're smart. We got a smart audience.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, that was
You
one.
got-
Go.
Oh, I got out there scoring none in the warm California sun. It's a bit of a long one.
I got the Catalina turnover mixer.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. My last one is the Cinco Stinko.
Ooh. I had the Mistako punishmento.
Ooh, okay. We're both naming magicians. We're adding O's. We're adding O's to things.
Hopefully we can hashtag bounce out of it. And we somewhat did, but...
Wait, I have the song, though. I'm going to give my song. I went with Mistakes Like Fractures from Knock Loose, local boys. So.
Yeah. Knock Loose is Louisville.
Song of the game. So... We somewhat recovered from this, except first off, Wednesday. Let's talk about Wednesday. There's been, some, in all seriousness, some bad stuff happened in the area. Homes getting destroyed and all that. That really sucks. The weather really sucked this week. We continue to have this crazy weather. So on Wednesday, I was traveling from job to another job site, and the wind came up like really crazy, right? And I was crossing I got a phone call that said, guy I know said, hey, there's a tornado in Corden. I was coming over from Indiana. And I was like, oh shit, So I'm driving over, and he was like, you might want to go back to the store, I was like, I'm already at the bridge. I look over downtown Louisville, and I'm just like, I've never seen a sky like that over downtown Louisville. Maybe not really in a long time ever. So I turn on 8:40 a.m. and in the weather report's playing. And it's like 85 mile per hour winds by the airport. Mm-hmm. And I'm driving by the airport. And there's like 2 trash cans flying through the air. And I know a tornado touched down in Newburgh. That was probably the beginning of it, if I had to guess.
How many cows?
We've got cows.
In Newburgh?
We have Dodge sponsors. What was the car they used on that one?
I think they used Dodges, right? They were Dodges.
I think they were Fiat.
No, Fiat.
Fiat.
Those classic.
Tornado chasers prefer.
Yeah.
Fiat.
They like small, lightweight vehicles.
Because they're really good in a tornado, right?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, my car was rocking. I saw semis rocking. It was pretty scary. But
you made it through.
We're glad you're okay.
Good job.
Yes. And after all that, a soccer match had to be played, the U.S. Open Cup. Second round, Louisville City hosting for the first time ever, Lexington FC. Call this match what you will.
I've been instructed to not call this match what I will.
It was a thing. It did happen. A historical match, I thought, in a lot of ways. We could look back in history and say, holy, we were there for this game, or, I remember that. I remember when there's green clouds.
A tornado touchdown in the middle of the pitch.
And we scored.
It was cool, and I think it also showed USL Side 1 teams. We saw it last year. We're seeing it again this year. There's a lot of good USL
Hell yeah.
Side 1 teams. What did you see from Louisville up there on this game? Because I thought the conditions were, even though the worst of it obviously had passed, the field was like slippery.
It's an ice rink.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
It looked slippery.
Yeah.
It looked dangerous to play on almost. And it was just, not only was it pouring down rain, but it's just horrible elements.
I'm really glad we got out of there without any injuries. Both sides, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yep.
That's the most important thing, right? Like, especially with an Open Cup game, you don't want anybody to get injured because that could hurt the season going forward.
Going into this, I thought that we would win, right?
Yeah.
It's Lexington's third game, and I think they've scored like 1 in their first 2 games. But after 8 unanswered goals, right, your confidence wavers a little bit, right?
So, did you? My expectation was this was going to be us thrashing them, right? Like we were going to come out and we were going to just take it to Lexington and get our groove back. Mm-hmm. And when the first half finishes all tied at 0, I'm a little bit concerned because we haven't broken through in a while, and it looked like the match was pretty evenly played. Like we weren't really. I mean, we were definitely the pressing team there, but we weren't getting a lot of opportunities. I think Harris had a really good header that was saved by Clausey at one point, but there weren't a lot of chances created, right? Like, it wasn't what I was expecting. I expected us to come out and just take it to them, and they played really well and contained us, which kind of surprised me a little bit because I did expect a lot more. Some things I did like. I like that Clausey got the start again with Toach. It was good to see
back
him
on the horse, man. That's
exactly.
Yep.
And try to build that confidence, right, against the lower level competition. Mm-hmm. I thought Ollie played really well in goal. I thought he had some saves that kept us in the game. And then Dia definitely keeps us from going extra time, right? Like he saves that game for us. That 100% line.
100%. Yeah, there were no positives to take home from Sacramento, right? But I thought we defended better. I thought our passing and sort of connection into the final third was better than it has been. we still couldn't finish, right?
We're not creating the final chance, right? Like, we're getting the ball worked up, but we're not creating that shooting opportunity where we're moving the defenders and getting a clear opportunity at goal. Like, I don't know what it is, but we're not getting that clear-cut opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought that Matiti took a few shots that, like, just he sprayed them wide. I don't know if maybe he's, like, gripping the stick too tight, you know? Like, he's just got some confidence thing going on where he's just kicking it. Because he had one that was a clear shot at goal, and he just shot it straight over. And he had another one that kind of went wide. So
he had a pretty clear open shot. It ended up being an offside, but he just kind of lobbed it into him. I mean, he tried to chip him and just passed it to him.
But, I mean...
I don't know. As the game is creeping along and we sort of haven't scored yet, like, I just get more and more nervous.
Yeah. Is that the header back? Yeah. I do like that we scored going into the Estopel end. I like when we score on that side. So
Tosh's head comes through yet again.
that was a really great ball from Serrano, by the way. Like from PDP. He put that in. He just floats that in, and Tosh attacks it and just.
I think we need PDP in the lineup consistently every game.
Whew. Where do you play PDP at this point? Like,
I think he has a better connection with the other sort of midfielders and the forwards of the team. I don't know. I mean, that's not my job. I'm not the manager. But I think
this is
just based on the way he's been playing and how we play around him, I think we need to get him in the lineup more often.
Yeah, Oscar steps over, leaves it for PDP. Look at the float though. Look at that ball just floats in there, and Tosh just attacks it.
Beautiful.
Clausy had nothing. Like, there was nothing he could do. So I got to tuck it in, tucked in, locked in. Whew.
That first half was that was ugly. That was not fun to watch, to be honest with you.
But Serrano earned the kick, right? Serrano played pretty well, I thought. He's getting better as well. I think that's the issue we're having, too, a little bit, right? Is we have this youth movement that's happening, right? And so we have younger pieces working in with the older guys like PDP, right? And I think that getting everyone to gel together and kind of turning over to those younger guys is taking a little bit more time. I think once they figured it out, we're going to kick butt.
I think Serrano does a lot of good things, like off the ball as well.
Yeah.
And that's just stuff that he's picked up with experience. Look at that clearance.
Dia. Oof.
And he was in front of the line.
That was
that's kind
a crazy
of
foul too. After that, look at this foul.
They're not going to show it on the highlights, also, but at home they missed a clear.
Oh, the handball. Serrano's definitely caught. His hand is extended far from his body. It's up over his head.
He's waving to the upper deck.
I was really lost with that one because his hand is definitely like, and someone was like, "No, he was sliding," and I was like,
100% a handball.
His other hand was the one he hit that's in the air.
100% a handball. I saw it as soon as it happened. No replay needed.
No, it was definitely a bad call, but that's a great save.
Play of the game.
Look at that.
Oh, by far.
Right where he needs to be. Amadou Dia.
By far, the play of the game.
I mean, Diaz, such another, like, right in Sacramento, we start with him not on the pitch. Like, unless he's carrying a knock, I mean, why not start him? He plays really well back there, so. But we earned our next match in the Open Cup, right? And we get to go to Cincinnati and
Going back to the Natty.
Everybody seems so excited.
I'm excited for the opportunity, but
What a great opportunity.
I'm excited for the opportunity to beat Cincinnati, right? And rub their faces in it. But they're playing some really, I don't know.
playing their best soccer they've played ever, I think.
You might not follow MLS, but they're on top of the table in the East there.
Oh, really quick, my song of the match for the Lexington Louisville match was "Is That Enough" by Marvin Gaye. And I really just wanted to listen to that song, but it also, you know what I mean? Like 1-0. I thought we would just. I feel like we need to score some more. I think we need to build that confidence. Yeah, I'm moving around, shaking the seat.
That's why I'm not necessarily. I know that Matiti sprayed a couple wide. Like, I'm not necessarily mad at that. I like them taking the shot.
He didn't seem as crisp in that match.
I don't mind him taking the shot either. I think he needs to keep shooting because if you keep shooting, eventually you're going to get that touch back and you'll start scoring the goal. Yep. So I'm absolutely all for him shooting the ball like when he gets the opportunity. Because I want him to keep. I want him to build that confidence and get the ball going in.
You just need to see the ball hit the net, right?
Yep. And I think once he does, he'll start scoring a bunch again. Like, he's definitely a player that's going to put some in.
He started so last season and ended up double-digit goal scorers. So.
Yeah. You know, we're only 5 matches in. I know that we talk doom and gloom about Sacramento, but realistically, we've played 5 matches this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't tell where we really are at this point.
What, are we still third on the table?
Yeah, and we have more wins than more than half of the teams in the USL. You
Yeah.
know that, right? We've won 2 matches. We have more wins than almost every other team.
The only team that has won more than us is the Birmingham Legion, who we're going to be maybe juggernauts this year. I don't know.
But when you
A retool Legion.
when you look through the table, it's just not. I know everyone is upset because we're not winning games because we're used to winning.
Mhm.
But the situation isn't as dire as people are making out. No one needs to get fired.
It's not. Yeah, that's a stark overreaction.
We're not at that point yet.
That's a
like,
ridiculous reaction.
I know, but it like you look at Twitter, people are like, "Rawr," and I'm like,
Well,
really? Do we need to be that? Like,
you got a block.
It's a negative cesspool. That's why.
And
I love it.
but you look at the table and you're like, I don't understand why you're so angry. We're still in 3rd place.
Who you gonna replace Danny Cruz with? Who's
right?
who?
And he's
Somebody out there on
proven
Twitter gonna do better? We're gonna fan vote it?
The question shouldn't even come out of anyone's mouth.
I'm saying
he's already proven that he can win. We've made it to championship games with him. Like he's proven that he's going to figure this out and he's going to make this team a winner.
Yeah.
So
and that's coming from his biggest critic, right?
yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm definitely critical of him, but I think that he's got the tools in his toolbox to make this work.
Yep.
Right.
He's a hell of a coach.
Yep.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, what did Aaron Rodgers say back in the day? Relax. Yeah.
RELAX.
I'm not going to cover. We're not going to cover like Cincinnati right now, but I will say, I was a little disappointed with you two. I'll tell you why. It was his. Yeah. Yeah. He's always vibrating
Be
over there.
disappointed with him.
Yeah. Well, he's on his own call, you know.
I'm important.
But
Dr. Grum.
yeah. But so yeah, Cincinnati. They are in the East #1 spot, right?
Mhm.
And you said something. You're 5th game in Louisville City, right? Here's why I was disappointed.
6 games in.
6 games in, coming up.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
They've-
Cincinnati has played 6 games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I was disappointed because when I texted you guys, everybody was very like, "Well, we know how this is going to end." I saw it on Twitter actually, random people saying, "Yep, we're going to get crushed." What's the difference now between when we played them when they first left the league, or at the very at the very end of their USL days?
Form.
Also,
look
the
at
team.
our current form. I mean,
They have a completely different team.
yeah, they're a completely different team.
Yes, but not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There was no excitement. There's not too much excitement. I saw the team got about 300 likes or whatever on Twitter for the announcement of it, the Dirty River Derby. That's for you, Lance. But yeah, I don't know.
So
Who cares if we get crushed? Are we not gonna fucking get into
I
this?
care
and
if we
support
I don't.
them?
I definitely. All right. So we can get crushed by any other team in the league. Every team in the league could crush us for the rest of the season. I wouldn't care. If we get crushed by Cincinnati, I'm gonna be upset.
Right.
Like every other USL team could beat us by like 10 goals, and
Yep.
I'd be like, it happens.
We have a chance.
Cincinnati beats us
we
by more than
certainly-
1 goal, and I'm gonna be. And I agree, we have a chance. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm not discounting that we have a chance.
You play.
You play the game, and anybody can win, right?
Right. And MLS teams are kind of notorious for really not taking the Open Cup seriously, at least until the later rounds. So I would expect we're going to get sort of the B squad from FCC.
But
So,
they
We'll
look
take that B squad and shove up their asses. How about that?
They look like they're a good team so far. They've played 6 games, 4 wins, 2 draws. I mean,
Gives
plus
me
4
a chance to check
goal
out
diff.
their stadium without actually going there for them, which that's a plus.
yeah, that's a plus.
I mean, we would
that.
never go there for them, right? Like you can go maybe if they play St. Louis or like an LAFC, or maybe is Mark Anthony in Toronto now?
Yeah, he's in Toronto.
So maybe if they play Toronto, like find one of those other games where they play a team that that you would like to see beat Cincinnati, and then wear that other team's colors when you go. I mean, that's what I would do. But I agree. I mean, I agree. There wasn't much excitement from.
We will cover
from our
that
side.
later, but you guys are lame. Moving on, we have a bigger game tomorrow
we know
or
that.
today. I'm not really sure.
Whenever this comes out.
Detroit City is coming to town.
Sure, what?
Yeah, another 3:00 start tomorrow afternoon, or later on today, depending on when you're watching this, or 2 years ago.
Or yesterday.
2 years
or
ago.
But
Before the fall. I don't know.
another 3 p.m. start, and not windy, thank goodness.
Is it gonna be sunny?
It's gonna be sunny and 65.
Nice. I'll take that. I might go shorts.
Yeah, I'll really
Tank
take
top
that.
shorts.
Tank top
Um,
shorts.
We have not lost to Detroit so far since they entered the league last
But it was
year.
something. Yeah, something.
I was gonna say.
3 matches.
I mean, yeah, that's still impressive, and that's in all competitions, right?
Open Cup
We
and
played them in Open Cup as well.
Do you know what I noticed? Do you know what their only win is? The only game they've won this year.
Are you gonna tell
Yeah,
us?
you gonna tell us?
They beat El Paso.
What did we do against El Paso?
3-1. I don't think it was very good. I can't remember.
El Paso also lost.
I think there was Asico Choco or something.
Yeah. El Paso also lost in their Open Cup match as well, right? They
Yeah.
got upset. They got a cup set on their hands. But Detroit, that's who we're talking about now.
Yep.
They're also coming off back-to-back losses, league losses anyway, and
Yeah.
a midweek game for the Open Cup. They played on Tuesday, whereas we played on Wednesday. They've lost Hopino, who's a whaler now, and that's really kind of taken a toll on their attack. They definitely miss him, but they still have Maxi Rodriguez. He's still a really dangerous, dynamic player, so you got to look out for him. They've got a really strong center back pairing, Stephen Carroll and Michael Bryant, Richard Ballard.
Yep.
Heard of him?
Heard of that guy.
One of my favorites of all time.
Lots of memories with him.
And he's gonna. I mean, you would assume that coming back to his hometown, his first professional club, he's gonna try to burn us. He started all 4 games for them this year, so he's like in the lineup. He's
in
their
form
rotation.
too,
Yeah.
right? What I noticed when I looked at the stats was they're a similar position to us, right? Like they're not scoring a lot of goals and they're conceding quite a few. So I think that this could be a good game for us, right? Like we could have a good opportunity to try and maybe score some goals and maybe get our confidence back because they're not at top form yet either.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good opportunity at home for us to kind of work back up to that form.
We saw the Sacramento game as sort of a defensive battle, which is not what it ended up being.
Not
but
at
we
all.
saw they're a good defensive team, right?
Yep.
We sort of saw that one coming, but I don't think Detroit's not. We can put.
I
We
think
can get something
behind them.
past Detroit. Come on.
Yeah.
Nate Steinwasser's still between the sticks for them.
Yep. But I don't think it's going to be I think that this game is probably going to be a low-scoring game. I think one goal is going to take it.
1-goal game.
I think whoever can score that one goal is going to win. I feel like the advantage is to us because we're playing at home. We play in a really big pitch. They're not used to that. They play in a much smaller.
What's that pitch going to look like? I know we've got a great grounds crew, but like after Wednesday,
I have 100% faith that those guys are going to. They've been working their tails off.
Okay.
I mean, they were out there getting stuff ready as we were leaving the stadium. They're going to work hard to make sure that pitch is gorgeous.
We've
for
had
this
some
match.
pretty clear and solid weather since then. Not a lot of rain in forecast.
Turn the sprinklers on. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We know they have a very, very intense, passionate fan base, and we're, I think this is the first opportunity they really had.
Passionate fan base.
First,
Okay.
they have really cool banners. I've
Fuck
explained
outta here.
on last year's program that cuss words are cool. I mean, that's why I said an F-bomb earlier. That's why.
We fucking
If you
love
make
cussing.
banners,
South Park's been on the air
It's-
for 25 years.
I know. Trust me, I know. Banners are cool, and they're really cool, and they have the F-bomb on them. But what I'm saying is, it's their first opportunity for them to come to Louisville because I think all the other games have been really crap. Like Wednesday night.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I guess those are only 2. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they have some supporters because they
travel.
They are good
Yeah, they
supporters.
travel.
They are good supporters. So we hope so because that'd be cool. It's always cool when you have visitors there.
And
Always makes a better environment.
win, lose or draw, free hugs if you come to the match. Free hugs, and
You just have to punch Glenn in the face.
You gotta punch me in the face,
Pop him in the
apparently.
mouth real quick.
Please
don't-
check previous episodes for this information.
Yeah, we need you to go back to our back catalog.
Yeah.
Check the archives.
Yeah, you gotta listen to
For
all our old
details
episodes.
of the archives.
But no, I if the fans are there, they should definitely check out the tailgate, right? I think we have one of the best tailgates in the USL. They should come check that out. If you don't prefer tailgating, you can walk around the corner. We have the High Horse. We have 1020. What is it, South Seas?
South Seas.
The Whirling Tiger. There's a great selection of different bars you can go to in the area and get yourself a drink before the match.
You have to go to Tiger after the game. They don't open.
Yeah, sorry. Tiger doesn't open until 5, but you can definitely go to 1020. I think that's where we went before the last racing game.
that was good.
They have a decent selection of beer.
Big-
they
big
have
space.
pizza. A lot of pizza.
If you're a
really
big-
good pizza.
If you're a big space guy, you don't like those small places like me. I like big spaces.
Like you're into planets and stuff like that.
yeah,
Outer
planets,
space.
Asteroids.
all that stuff.
Meteors.
Can't you tell? Look at me.
Comets.
You look like a star.
I don't
Is
like
that-
to bump into 7 people to buy a beer. That's all I'm saying. So.
They have that outside area out front is really
it's
nice.
cool.
Those nice tables, and it's
right
gonna
in the heart of
beautiful day.
Butchertown.
Right in the heart.
They've got little heat lamps, which really came in handy in that racing game.
He sure did.
I'll tell you who won't be having a beer at 10:20.
Who won't?
Wes Sharpie, Cameron Lancaster, and Niall McCabe. They're all listed as out.
Well, they might be if they're out.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, never mind. Forget
They're
what I
welcome to come
said.
join us too if they want to come to the tailgate or they want to come.
I-
We'll buy your beer if you want
Yeah,
a beer.
I'll buy you guys beer.
Highly unlikely.
But if you want one, it's out there. If you come, find us. I mean, I have pink hair. You're gonna really be able to find me easily.
I think
Beer's on me, so
I think that
just for those 3 players mentioned, though, not for everybody.
No, that applies to everyone.
No, it does not.
Glenn will buy everyone who watches a beer or listens.
I think that
Show us the receipt.
there's only one result that would really get things the way that we want them to be,
Okay.
and that result is 5-0
Okay.
Louisville City over Detroit City. Now,
Work on that goal differential, huh?
Yeah. I
hear
like
me
that.
out. Hear me out.
Okay.
What have we been known for in our history in the USL? Domination.
Domination.
Best team by far, right? So we have these crazy matches throughout the year: 6-0, 5-0, 4-0, 5-0. Meme after GIF after video.
GIF.
After hashtag.
GIF.
I've always called them GIF because I like Skippy peanut butter. Anyway,
Are they sponsors
That-
too?
Yeah. Oh wait, we didn't say anything about Mile Wide, by the way. We're
Skippy
drinking
Skippy
Mile Wide
is-
tonight. Thanks, Mile
Skippy
Wide.
is
for the
definitely-
beer.
Give this camera.
we aren't getting paid. What are you doing?
We
aren't getting paid for
because
this.
this is a really good beer, and Mile Wide should get some props because Mile Wide has decent pizza. They have good beer, and they've
They
had a
have
couple
really
of
good
watch.
pizza. I really like their pizza, and they
They've
got a
had
great
some watch
space.
party. Yeah, they've had some watch parties for us, so we appreciate them letting us come and watch soccer in
They're
their space.
definitely listening, watching too.
And they love this show. And eventually they'll be our sponsors. They'll give us free beer. if
We should
talk about it
we
enough.
should be drinking Bud Light, and that's an inside reference. If you get it, you get it. Okay.
Yeah.
What I was saying was, Louisville City tomorrow. Okay, you'll have to Google that one. Louisville City tomorrow.
I agree. We should be
3
drinking Bud
o'clock. Detroit City 5-0. Not a prediction, but if we're going to get back into the dominant ways, if we're going to reverse this course, especially for the negativity that we were just talking about, I know 5-0 is very tough, and I know this team is not playing to their standards. But if you want to come out and say a statement and say, hey, look, guys, we had 2 losses over the last couple weeks. That will not fucking happen again. Okay? This is how you make a statement. You come out and you say, guess what? We're still Louisville City. The song, We Are Louisville City, right? They got to come out and play with that crest on and say, we are yeah, and
Louisville City.
especially against a shit-talking team.
Yeah, say it with your
Okay.
chest.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I was pointing to the chest. Oh, that chest. This chest. But
No, the community chest.
but this yes, but this team wants to come into the league. Last year, they came into the league. They want to make a statement themselves. They've got a lot of firepower on this team. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing old Richie Ballard back there.
Richard.
Old Richard, Louisville College native at least. So anyway, we'll see.
While
I'm excited.
I don't think
Need to make a statement.
Like 5-0 would be great. That's not necessarily. I
I-
would still walk away happy without 5 goals.
Yeah.
I mean,
2-0 would be great.
yeah.
I think 1-0 is great because
Yeah.
I don't think we need to.
Obviously.
Wins a win.
I don't think we need to make a huge statement at this point in the season. I think that there's too much pressure being put on that this is the 5th game. It doesn't matter if you win by 10 or you win by 1. 3 points is 3 points. All we got to do is get 3 points tomorrow, win at
6
home.
games.
6 games. No, this is the 5th game in league.
The
This is
fifth
the
league
6th
game.
game we've played. This is the
Oh,
5th league game.
Well, I count.
So
every
I've always been bad at it.
I'm
Yeah.
counting the league games.
Bad performances, I count.
But the two losses, if you come off, you get that W, get yourself back to the winning ways. I don't think it has to be emphatic. I just think it needs to be a win. I think we need to show better on defense. I think we need to put more shots on goal. You score 100% of the goals you don't shoot, right? Like 100% you don't score whatever it is that
Yeah, something like
Wayne
that.
Gretzky thing about
I think my brain put that together when you said it. We're sitting on a -5 goal differential right now, so we don't need to get all that back in one game.
Nope.
But it would be nice.
Yeah.
But I do think that that's all you really need at this point in the season is one good win under your belt, and that can really sort of change the tide. We're not so far gone that beating this Detroit team is not going to mean anything. Like this is, we can get this done. Absolutely.
I think
And we could pivot the season with it.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I think it could be at the beginning, right? You build on this. You
Yeah.
build on a win. You get 3 points. Build on that, and you build your next match, and you continue to build on that momentum. Plus, like last year, we lost 6 matches, right? So we just lost our first 2 early this year.
Or
Getting it out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
that's a perfectly fair and reasonable take. Or we don't win 5-0 and we start burning our merchandise and clothing.
Listen, so
Even if we win 4-0, it's not good enough. You get a big barrel. Burn that shit.
win, lose, or draw.
Then we make it a draw.
Effigies of Danny Cruz.
Win, lose, or draw, I'm a LouCity fan. Like, no matter what happens on the pitch, I'm going to support this team. I support the boys. Like, and I know that right now it's a struggle, but I'm going to support them no matter what happens on Saturday. So if they win the match by 5 or 1, I'm going to be happy. If they lose, I'm not going to be super happy, but I'm also still going to support this team because this is my team.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what the result on the pitch is. This is always going to be my team.
If they go out there and there's all this buildup and they lose to Roman Reigns, I'm still going to watch, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not
Especially if Solo Sikoa comes out and gives them the spike and then
The story continues.
The story continues.
you're just going to sell more t-shirts now, right? That's
Yeah.
all these do.
The story continues. I mean, we hope that the story's going to continue in the win column tomorrow. That's for sure.
Ooh,
and when I said
good
5-0, I mean I'm not saying that's not the number.
For
What I'm
fantasy
saying is
booking.
we need fantasy booking. It needs to be. We need a good performance all around, and a clean sheet would be awesome, and then I'd be happy, right?
Who do you think starts tomorrow? Ollie or Morton?
That's a tough one. So I think that you start.
I'm glad we don't have to make that decision.
I would start Morton because I'm trying to build his confidence and make sure that he knows that he's our number one,
Right.
no matter what, and get him back out there. I think if the result goes your way, I think if he either gets a clean sheet or we win the match, no matter by how many goals, you keep him out there and keep him going. Maybe he only has a few more matches left where we're gonna rely on him. But I think a lot of the goals, like we talked about Sacramento, was mistakes, right? And they weren't on Morton. Like
No,
a lot of those goals
absolutely not.
weren't his
Right.
fault.
Yeah,
So you can't let that.
And I think a few of the El Paso ones even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't let that rattle your decision
No,
making,
I would
right?
never
Like
put this on any one player.
yeah, exactly. It's a team sport, right?
Yeah.
And you stay with him, and try to build back that confidence because I'm sure that
Good
he is a
point.
little bit. I mean,
A little rattled.
I'd be a little rattled, right?
I mean, we know he might be a little rattled physically anyway because we were talking about that I think last episode how he seemed like he was out for the game, game before last, I believe it was, and
Do we even know what he picked up? Was it we just heard knock in training, right? Like,
Yeah.
We even hear what
game before El Paso. Who was Orange County? He was out for that game, right?
OCSC.
Or Monterey? I don't know.
Monterey.
Never
It was
team.
Monterey.
SC.
Monterey. Okay, so he was out for that game, and we said he might not be 100%. So that could be a possibility too. But
If he's 100%, I think you have Morton in there. You're trying to build him back up. You're trying to let him.
Yeah.
He's Gold Glove winner last year.
Yeah.
Right?
He's your number one, right?
Yeah.
Still, like even what's going on, he's still your number one keeper. You get him out there. I think that honestly, with the Open Cup game, I love what Danny did, starting some of the young guys, giving them the opportunity. I think it was good to see Mars out there. I think it was really good to see Kwasame.
Mars played very well. It's something we did not touch on.
Yeah.
I really liked him in the squad.
And some of the young guys, I thought they all played well. They showed out well. I mean, the first half wasn't our greatest first half, but they still played well. We kept them from scoring, and we kept on our program, and we eventually knocked the goal in.
We did the job, right?
Yeah.
We got the job done.
And that's all you got to do.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't have to be emphatic. It just has to be 3 points.
Yeah, but if it is emphatic, that's pretty fun too.
And please don't burn your merch in the street if it isn't 5 goals.
Yeah, I was being facetious, guys, and if don't ask me to spell that, but
I love how Glenn has to explain something like every episode. Like, please don't do this. Like,
Well, I think like one time we were gonna.
there's
steal
30
things.
people watching this.
Well, I need those 30 people to know that we.
25 of them are related to you.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. We don't support any of these
They're
criminal
all
activities.
cousins. Oh, I got a cramp in my leg.
Hey, thanks, cousins.
Well, thanks for watching, cousins. We're glad that the Harper
probably eat a-
squad is
Eat a
watching us.
banana versus drinking beer.
My cousins are all on meth, so we're not
Wow.
watching anything.
My cousins are all in New Hampshire or in Pittsburgh.
All right. Well,
There's meth in Pittsburgh. I'm just
Let's
I'm
all
saying
talk about
there's
it.
meth in Pittsburgh.
They're-
talk about our
they're
family trees.
Definitely not.
Hopefully we'll see everybody there. It's going to be fun. If you choose to go to the game, go to the watch party, go to whatever's going on, and check out and support the boys in purple. Racing off this weekend, as we talked about. They will be back
In
April
LA.
15th in Los Angeles,
They're
Angel
going back
City,
to Cali.
and we'll probably cover that at a later date. We'll see. We hope you enjoy watching
Are we
the
done?
program.
Wait, we made it all the way to the
It's over?
end.
This is it. That's
Oh,
all I
that's
got.
awesome.
Were we recording this whole time?
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
This-
Shit.
Haha.
We did the trial earlier, and then this is the real deal.
This is the real deal.
Yeah.
This
so-
is the best we can do, fellas.
Best
Sorry,
we can
guys.
do. No, it was a A lot of fun.
It's always fun.
But we hope everybody has a good Easter weekend. And any closing
Easter.
thoughts? Anybody?
Treat each other with love and respect. I don't say that every
Love
time.
and respect.
I got nothing. No.
And
We are.
come to the match.
Yeah, come to the match.
And don't punch me. Give me a hug. I want hugs, not punches.
Hug him with your fists.
Don't
Hug
hug
him
me
with your fist. It's a famous line.
Hashtag hug him with your fists.
See you next time, guys. Go City. Go Racing after you get off break. Should be fun. Nice weather, at least. Not windy.
Along came Windy.